My first memories goes back to the pre-creation of the Israeli state, the state of Israel. It was like a message of great brilliance of a young, promising man that arrived from far away at the most needed time in our history. And there were a great deal of expectations and hope and wonder. He appeared as a wonder in our midst. So he was unique, he was different, with the unbelievable knowledge, the command of languages. He was one of the greatest orators in the 20th century. It was a pleasure to listen to him. In English, in Hebrew, less in French. There the accent didn't help me very much. But still the brilliance overcame even the accent. And we have had a lot of respect for it. He has had his own agenda to write, to read, to speak, to teach. And it was a pleasure to have a small talk with him, but he didn't have the time for small talks. I mean, his priorities of time were different from others. He couldn't socialize too much. He was traveling, he was working, he was busy. And the more you climb higher, the more lonely you become, by definition and by reason. So I mean, the fact that he was different from others, that he was lonely, didn't make him a separate part of our nation. On the contrary, it made him as a unique contribution to our lives and history. All his speeches were great, but the speech after the beginning of the war was really a great one, because he has had real material. There was a provocation against Israel. And you know, people from time to time are impressed by power and aggression. I remember he said that people are asking, what is the value of a military victory? Well, he says you can understand it if you will think what will be the consequences of a lack of a victory. Personal meeting, it was full of irony, of stories, a beautiful sense of humor. From time to time, not totally pragmatic in the accepted meaning of pragmatism in Israel, but always penetrating and a sharp eye, and remembering poetry and the Bible by heart. He could have quoted the Bible and Shakespeare with the same ease, without referring to any book or page. And a treasure of historic knowledge. Since he has had such an unbelievable talent for his speech, he didn't pay attention to the other aspects of life. In a party, you have to get organized, you have to understand the different maneuvers and moods and people. And he hanged too much on his talent, not enough on its travail, on its need to make for himself a room. And then again, you know, things came to him so easily. He was a young man, and he became the spokesman of a nation in birth, where he caught the attention of the entire world. So things came so easily, so naturally, that it created a weakness. Because even if you are so outstanding, you still have to work hard in order to guarantee a camp and supporters. He has had a group around him. He has a group of people who sincerely admired him, who came to his home and listened to his remarks and lessons, and they came back with great pleasure. I too did it from time to time. I think the recognition of Israel at the beginning played a major role. I think the definition of 242 and 338, which served the basis for the Israeli policies for years to come. I think the conference of the underdeveloped nations or developing nations in Israel, that was a great event. I think he's heading the Weizmann Institute was another one. And I think the legitimation of Israel in the ears of otherwise a hostile audience was again a great contribution that will never be forgotten. I would see him as an outstanding political figure in the midst of our life. We miss him. There is nobody that can replace him. He was unique. He was one at a time.